Okay, right, I need a cup of tea. I think after this I'm gonna have a nice cup of tea. Right, but before that, let's talk about section 3, chapter 8, page 3, the single and double slit experiments in quantum mechanics. One of the most important experiments that was done at the quantum mechanic level, when this with the idea of Albert Einstein and all Max Planck and Rutherford and all that, was this single and double slit experiment. What they do in the single slit experiment, they shot electrons through a lamp through one slit. This is on top part of the diagram. And when that went through, and on the screen, there were like dots, like a bullet going through the slits, and you can see the dots. So they said, there we are, electrons are yang, a particle. We can measure them, we can see them, look at them, they're like dots, like bullets. Great, brilliant, lovely jubbly, done. That is, quantum mechanics solved. Electrons are like a bullet, goes through the slit, hits the screen like a bullet, and it leaves a mark. Okay, so they said, all right, let's do a double slit. Instead of having single slit, have double. So they said, okay, that's no problem. So when they did a double slit, suddenly the pattern completely changed. It was a wave. Hang on. So that confused the scientists. Hang on. Is the electron in the single slit acts like a particle, right? It's this. And then a double slit, it goes like this. It's a wave. And when you put them together, you create this pattern, the yin and the yang. What is going on? That really confused the scientists. Really just threw them off. Because right up to that point, they said, there is electron, a particle, we look at it, done. But when they did the double experiment and it became a wave, the DAO appeared, yin and yang, and they said, what? It can't be. Is electron a particle? They love that because they can measure it, they can look at it, they can say, yeah, it's a bullet going through. But when they did it as a double slit experiment, it became a wave. So they said, is the electron a particle or a wave? What is it? Is it yang or is it yin? But because they didn't believe in yin and yang or the Tao, they got more and more confused. They got lost. So they said, and because they don't believe in that energy, in that yin and yang, in the Tao, they couldn't accept this. No acceptance and no surrender. So they said, right, we got to do more and more and more and more experiments. We got to look at it more, which we'll talk about it in the next chapter, how they start looking at these. So they said, if these electrons appear as this duality, we must make a machine that can measure this duality. So they developed this Large Hadron Collider. And if it measures that duality, we can work out a particle called Higgs boson particle or God particle. And if we can work out that Higgs boson particle using our machine, which is made of plastic and metal and has no soul, no spirit, he's not alive, he hasn't got that God energy in it, we can work out. That's what is called the God particle. But they're wrong, because God is only part yang. But the other part of God is energy. And that's what they confuse as scientists. Scientists are confused. God is not a particle. God is energy. God is spirit. God is soul. God is that universal intelligence that you can't measure it with a machine made of plastic and plastic and metal and magnets, which has no soul in it. But scientists are not happy. They just want more and more experiments. We talk about that later. But that experiment threw the whole system out of balance. The whole scientific world just turned them upside down. And still, to the present day, they're confused. Confusion. They isn't confused.